Okay, good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Today, what we're going to do, we are going to work with the North Carolina thinking stems and question stems. And Mr. Matthews actually has provided them for us with these. They're so pretty. Anyway, we are going to work on some different reading strategies. Okay? And if you have any questions, just raise your hand. And Ms. Haywood, I think we're going to get started.
Okay, we're going to read chapter 41. It's on page 208. And at the beginning, the first paragraph, we're going to do the core reading. And then after that, we're going to keep going through the chapter, and Ms. White will do the echo reading.
Mrs. Capel had a terrible day. She got to work late. The shipment was wrong and had to be processed. The customer came in and stayed for 2 hours, trying dozens of methods. Ended up buying only a hair clip on sale for 50 cents. She finally eased into her car and headed home. She hoped Romy had cooked something. She was starving. She pulled into the driveway just ahead of her husband, who had come home. Didn't have to do the 11 o'clock broadcast. They pulled both cars into the garage and stood together for a moment, looking at the threatening sky. The air smelled of rain. Cornell Capel breathed deeply of the fresh night air. Okay, let's stop right there, and I'm gonna read to you, okay? And then we'll echo. She loved when he called her Lady B. It had been his pet name for her when they were dating in college. How much longer can they keep her on? She asked. Who knows? He replied in consternation. Her uncle is somebody who works in management upstairs. Ratings down at all? His wife asked as they opened the front door. I think ratings are going up because people are watching the show just to laugh at her. It's not a comedy show. It's supposed to be the news, Cornell responded angrily. And let's echo that part. I think ratings are going up just to laugh at her. It's not a comedy show. It's supposed to be the news, Cornell responded angrily. Good job.
The library closes at 9, so she should be home soon. Blue hair? Mrs. Capel questioned. Yes, bright blue, and pierced ears and nose and eyebrow. Destiny's mother sighed, but Destiny says he makes straight A's. Kids these days. Well, would you call me the instant she comes in? I don't know where Romiette is, and I'm a little worried. I'm sure it's nothing, but when they start driving and riding with kids with blue hair, I worry.
Well, I'm getting this from the integrating part of the question stem.
Integrating?
Yeah, the integrating. So, overall, summarize what's happened on that page.
Basically what happened is Mrs. Capel is worried about where Romiette is, so she called Destiny's mom to see if they were there. But Destiny's mom didn't know where they were either, so they both got worried and were wondering where they were.
Okay, that's good. Sure, Brianna. I'll have her call you. And you let me know if Romy gets there before we call. Thanks, Janelle. I'll talk to you soon. Mrs. Capelli hung up the phone and frowned. A heavy feeling of dread slowly crept into her body. Something was not right. Cornell felt it too. Who else can we call, lady? He was pacing the floor. It's a long shot, but let me call her friend Malika Grimes. They used to be close, and I know they just talked recently about some activity at school. Let's see. Her number is here on the refrigerator somewhere. Here it is. She punched the number quickly. Her fingers were beginning to shake. Hello, Malika. This is Mrs. Capelli. Have you seen Romy? Malika was in a hurry, but when she heard Romy's mother's voice, her breath caught in throat. She had only stopped by her house to get some duct tape that Rashad had forgotten. She wished that she hadn't answered the phone outside in the front of her house. Terrell and the Devil Dogs waited impatiently. They had important business tonight, and Romy's mother was the last person Malika felt like talking to. She answered quickly. I don't talk to her much anymore since she started hanging out with that foreigner. Foreigner? Yeah, that new kid. I think he's trouble. Why? The trail of dread was spreading quickly through Mrs. Capel's body.
Okay, I'm going to use a question from the evaluating stems. How effective was Malika's lie saying that she didn't know where Romy was?
Well, it was overall pretty doggone effective because they're not clearly knowing where Romy yet is. So pretty much the only person they can really go to is Malika. And Malika sees that power and she takes advantage of him, telling people that, telling the parents that Julio is a foreigner and he's bad news. And that's overall the only thing they can go by because they don't really know him that well.
Correct.